Hi, beautiful.
Afternoon. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect.
It's the hair for me.
Or I was asleep. I like my kids. They have not been napping, and all of a sudden today they napped, and then I napped, and I like set my clock, but I was like, it's fine, and I was like getting these texts coming through. I was like, oh, I was like, yeah.
I
We great.
feel that I'm hoping that Nova will take a nap after this. She's being a little cranky, so I will not be surprised if she runs up in here. She is over it already.
Hi,
Hey
Dr.
guys.
Thornton.
Hi, Dr. Thornton.
Hi, Nia.
How's it going?
Family.
Okay, good. I'm just gonna pull up your bios now.
Nia, you make me want to go get some wallpaper and get this back here together.
I'm coming over. I'll be over.
Thank you. I need that.
Did I read that you're from New Orleans?
Yes.
Me too.
Nia, Mia, and we're both from New Orleans. This is lit. I love it.
Oh my goodness. I really hope my kids stay in the basement because I have been trying to conference all day and they just keep coming in. They know how to unlock the door, so they're unlocking the door. Then they made a pad outside the door in the office. I opened the door to use the bathroom and they were all sitting there on a mat. And I was like, wait a minute. No.
Now, for when I introduce you guys, do you want me to read your full bio? Do you want me to? What do you want me to do?
Whatever feels jazzy.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine is pretty short, but whatever.
I was gonna read them.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Mine is a bit longer, so you can shorten it if you need to. I didn't realize it
Both
was.
of these, I was reading it. I was like, yes, I should have put more effort into this.
That's what I said. I was like, oh, a bio. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
But whatever you need. It's fine with me.
So funny. All right, let me make sure I turn this down. Had to grab me a glass of wine. Let me see.
I was telling Mia, my my daughters have been fighting naps, and all of a sudden today they napped.
Praise God.
I fell asleep, and then I started getting those texts just now. I was like,
Oh, you woke up just now?
I threw this shirt on. I threw this little sample.
You look good. You
I
look
put an
good.
eyeliner.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that you had just woken up.
Right. I don't look that pretty when I get up.
My husband's still asleep. I'm like, I hate it. Like, I feel for a nap right now, like a real nap. The one time, I got something to do.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. Whoa, where do you guys go? There you go.
So can you see me? Hi, Shauna. Hi, Marissa.
Hey, Mariah, I think if everyone can hear me, if you can hear me. Yes? Okay. All right. I think we are good with audio and video.
All right, good. Hi, Tiffany. Tiffany's there. Just. All right, so it looks like we're going to give everyone about
2 minutes.
and then we are going to get started. Now, Nia, you have triplets in a single.
No, I don't have triplets. Oh, Nate, Nia or Mia? Sorry.
Like, wait, that sounds like my story. I'm about to be like, wait a minute, sis, we connected again? No, yeah, that's me. That's me.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just thought so because you're here in Maryland, right? You're in Maryland.
Mm-hmm. I'm probably not far from you.
I don't think so. I've had patients of mine say, "You have triplets? Oh, were you on the news? You?"
Oh
That-
no, really? Oh man.
Yeah.
I have to switch
That's how I first heard of you. One of my patients told me. She's like, she has twins and triplets. I said, look, she got me beat.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right, everyone, it's 3:37 and I want us to be able to pack as much value. Let's get started because we do have some guests here. I am Monica Elston Carter. I am your moderator to asking some questions, and I'm so excited to be rubbing shoulders with these amazing women on stage. I am a Maryland native and I still live in Maryland, and I'm a family nurse, obstetrics and gynecology, 2.5-year-old triplets. So I share that with 3 little girls, Kaden and Kennedy. Can't see me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Can't see you.
Can you see? Oops.
I'm just screen sharing, I think, instead of face sharing.
Okay, I'm not sure how that happened.
Maybe some people can see you, Monica. It looks
Yeah,
like.
it looks like some can see you.
Is it sharing now?
No.
I can't see you, but the chat is saying that some people can see you. So maybe it's us.
Okay,
There you are.
I'll just,
Oh, there we go.
you guys, I don't want to waste your time. Okay, so let me get into who these lovely ladies are, and we will get started. Carlina can't hear us. Uh-oh. I'll text someone from tech support to come on in our room and help us out. But I'm going to keep. So we have Nia Tolbert. Nia Tolbert, she's a digital content creator, native to New Orleans and currently residing in the DMV area. Her biggest adventure yet is being a wife and a mom of 6, including multiples. So like I said earlier, she has triplets, she has twins, and she's a singleton. She's a dedicated advocate of health and wellness, diversity, inclusion, and education, and sharing her journey as she navigates through all the corners of motherhood. Nia is a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sororities Incorporated and currently works in visual merchandising and interior design. And you guys can see Nia.
Hi. Can you guys see me? Hey, Silver.
And we have Dr. Amber Thornton. Dr. Amber Thornton, she's a clinical psychologist and motherhood wellness coach. She's the founder of Balanced Working Mama, where the mission is to completely redefine the narrative of what's possible for millennial working mothers by helping them to better balance work, motherhood, and wellness. So you're literally perfect for this panel. Balanced Working Mamas community continues to grow as many mamas are learning how to redefine balance in motherhood and truly begin to prioritize their needs and desires first. Dr. Amber Thornton is dedicated to sharing tips and strategies for balancing work, motherhood, and wellness on the Balanced Working Mama podcast every Monday. You can listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, or wherever you enjoy a podcast. Dr. Thornton also helps working mamas to transform their wellness through the Empower Wellness Program. It's a 6-week virtual group program for working moms to empower themselves and others in drastically transforming how they care for and how they show up for themselves. Dr. Thornton resides in DC. You can see she's at the Metro stop right now. She's doing this live from the Metro with her husband and her 2 children. She's deeply passionate about helping other working mothers fulfill their goals, passions, and find more joy through motherhood experiences. Welcome, Dr. Thornton.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
And last but certainly not least, we have Mia Cooley. So we have Mia and Nia. This is a cute little, little panel. Platform founder of Black LGBTQ Moms and Parents, Mia Cooley is a community builder and a parenting coach. She specializes in supporting Black and or queer families through all those special and at times frustrating and through babies. When she's not connecting families with resources that help them build and nurture children, she's a published writer and fellow Black woman working in technology, brains, and beauty. Welcome, Nia.
Hey everyone, thank you.
All right, so we have Nia, Mia, and Dr. Thornton. Today's session is about saying no to burnout. Through a guided activity, we're going to provide effective step-by-step processes to establish boundaries in our businesses, friendship, marriage, and in our homes. All right, so question number 1. Okay, so we just went through and we're still going through a pandemic. And this is going to be for Nia and Mia. We just went through and we're still going through a pandemic. Add to the demands of everyday motherhood and you're feeling pretty pulled in all directions. How do you identify when you've reached your burnout point? And what does that look like for you? I'll start with you, Nia.
So, can you guys hear me? Yeah, great. For me, burnout looks a lot like misplaced anger, right? Misplaced anger, frustration, much more recluse than I usually am. I'm a person that recharges by being alone. So you can imagine when I hit my breaking point, right? My burnout. I want to be alone. I want to be by myself. I want to leave. I love my kids, but I don't really like them. I love my spouse. I don't really want to deal with him. And for me, that burnout, and at least in my circle, in my life, it creates a cycle. So I start off with my misplaced anger, frustration, right? Then I want to be alone. And in being alone, I don't want to interact with my kids. I don't want to talk to my spouse. I don't want to do any work. I don't want to check emails. I want to be in my closet or in my office alone. But what that does, at least for me, is initiates a cycle. So I'm not showing up the way that I need to be showing up to establish my boundaries, right? To make sure everyone's respecting them. And that could be place, that could be, again, with my kids, that could be with me, whatever the case might be. And what it does is sets me up for failure again. So we might stick a Band-Aid over it. All right, mommy's feeling okay now. I'm good. But I wasn't there to make sure that my boundaries were being respected. So then the whole reason that I'm in burnout phase is because my boundaries are not being respected. I'm not even respecting my own boundaries. So for me, sometimes in the morning, that is getting up a little bit before. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I am not a morning person. Our lives are so stressful. I'm like, I want to squeeze out every minute of sleep. But sometimes that is me waking up earlier to do what I said I was going to do, right? And when I don't respect that, I then create opportunity for things to start going crazy and essentially doing their own thing. My kids wake me up. That makes me angry. I love sleep. I don't want to get woken up. I want to wake you up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that creates opportunity for everything to start doing this. And then it's a constant cycle until we address, hey, you need to come first. You need to be first. You need to show up. You need to show up so that your needs are being respected. Your needs are being respected so that everyone is being respected. Yeah.
I would say much of what you said, Nia, that when I start becoming that like short, curt, like just not patient sort of person, then that's how I know I'm kind of reaching that point, because I pride myself on being just, very patient, like mindful, slow to respond, sort of mom. Like I like to, like I'm the mom that can listen to my 3-year-old take 20 minutes to say one sentence and then just kind of laugh with her through it. Like, I think that I'm that person, but when I'm like, Nova, what is it? What do you need? What do you want? And then everybody's looking at me like, okay, like she's in that sort of mood, and I know that I'm reaching that sort of point. Also, when I stop doing the things that I like, so if I love to cook. I mean, also New Orleans native, so I love like getting in the kitchen and like in making meals and things like that. But I will stop. Like during the pandemic, we're still mid-pandemic, but like in the beginning, I really stopped. We were ordering out all the time. I didn't go to the grocery store. Like it's part of the year. I was going to the grocery store, but also I just was not feeling it. I stopped dancing. I stopped kind of taking phone calls from my friends. Like maybe I would send a text message here or there. It takes me 3 days to respond. So I think it's important to know, like, with burnout, it's not just a thing that like you have to do that, will kind of contribute or be affected by you feeling burnout, but also the things that you love to do too. And so sometimes, like, I've been in situations where it would take my partner to say, like, are you okay? Do you need to take a step back? Because I'm a person, I struggle, I will say, saying no to some things. Like, I have 2 jobs. I run a full platform that supports like 9,000 queer moms and parents. So like, I want to be saying, yeah, come talk to me. I want to help. I want to do this. I'll take the extra session. I'll take the extra whatever. And just having to say no, I can't do that, or just not feeling like it. I'm not the type to say like, oh, I don't feel like helping someone. When I start feeling that way, it's because I'm burnt out. Like, I don't want to exercise. I don't want to cook. I don't want to dance with my kids in the kitchen. I don't want to read, and I love to read. There's books everywhere around my house. Like, I just start not finishing things. And also, one thing that I can say is major for me is probably my memory. It gets really terrible. Like, I start forgetting every day, and I used to say like, oh, it's just mom brain. And then I noticed like the pattern of when it would start to happen is when I'm feeling more stressed and I have too much too many things going on. Like, I'm forgetting meetings. I'm showing up late. I'm forgetting to feed the dog or something like that. Like that type of forgetfulness. And then I get frustrated with myself and start starting all over again. Like, why am I forgetting? You're not supposed to do this. And then I'm just being even more worked out because I'm putting all this extra pressure on myself. So I would say definitely the memory thing, definitely just the lack of patience with friends, family, kids, and especially with work.
Thank you, Mia. I know that we are having some sound issues. Our mom's tech team are working on it. I don't know if you can hear me or if I'm making sense. I'm going to keep pushing through and I'll continue to type the questions in the chat. And we're going to, and look, I'm talking all slow and now they're saying I sound normal. I probably sound crazy.
You sound good. You sound great. We can hear you.
So, okay, I'm going to go to the next question, but I will say I resonate with so much of what both Nia and Mia said. I work in healthcare and I come home just depleted. And, you know, I've worked through the whole pandemic. I didn't really get the vibes. I was still squeezing my pandemic body into outfits every day. And, you know, having people, you know, kind of dump on me, which is, it's my job, it's fine. And then I would feel bad because my toddlers need this mommy. And I'm like, this mommy, you know? So I get it 100%. All right, let me just go ahead and go to the next question. And this question is for Dr. Amber Thornton. We're going to tap into your expertise here. Can you share some tips on practical ways and routines we can incorporate in our children or communicate with our partners our needs in an effort to show up for ourselves? Some practical tips and ways we can incorporate that, or some routines.
Yep. So what I always like to teach moms that I work with is that when we are thinking about our family or our children, sometimes what happens is that we forget ourselves, and that is not okay. And so this is somewhat practical, but it's also a mindset shift. Is whenever we're thinking about our routines, when we're thinking about our family, when we think about our children, we have to also put ourselves at the center of anything that we're going to plan or anything that we're trying to implement. Because if we don't, it just won't happen. Oh, can people hear me? Hopefully you all can hear me. And so, okay, good. And so what I really try to help teach moms to do is to really think about what you need before you even start to plan your routines or think about what's going on with your family, because that really does need to be the focal point in the center. The one thing that we're always surprised by is that when we center ourselves in terms of what we need, our family flourishes. Our kids do so much better when we are fine. Our partners and our spouses also do better. Our partners and our spouses communicate to us a little bit better, and vice versa when we're better. And so our routines and our needs really do need to be at the center. And so one practical tip is to really sit down with yourself and really figure out, okay, well, what is it that you need on a day-to-day basis so that you can actually show up? And so for me, I need to work out. I need to make sure that I have my water. I need to make sure that I actually eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so if I haven't planned those things out, there's no way that I can be there for my family or my children. And so again, hopefully you all are thinking about this. What are the things that you actually need in order to show up for yourself? And if you don't have a clear routine or system for that, then it's going to be really hard to do the things for your family. Another thing that I think is really important is that sometimes as women and as mothers, we take on the responsibility of the home. And I think that's something that society does to us, but like also it's ingrained in us that, hey, you're the mom, so you are the keeper of the things in the household. But what I really try to help us to shift into is, hey, this is actually a collaborative effort. If we are lucky enough to have another parent in the home, if we're lucky enough to have our children maybe be a little bit older when they can take on some responsibility, and even when they're young, they can do it. This is a collaborative effort to maintain the household. It doesn't have to be all on you. And so when you're creating routines for your families or systems, don't just do it alone and then tell people what's going to happen. Actually bring everybody in and say, hey, this is what we need to do. And so let's figure this out together. And you can start really, really small. So for instance, my son just turned 2. His responsibilities are to feed our dog and to help me with the dishes. He doesn't do a good job, but hey, that's his little responsibility. And that teaches him that it's not all just going to be on mommy, that this is a household responsibility that we all need to care for. So hopefully that is helpful. Again, I think it really does start up here. We have to center ourselves in terms of what happens in our household so that we're not forgotten about, so that we don't forget about ourselves, but then also our routines and our systems can be more plentiful and more wholesome because we are also taken care of.
I love
Thornton. That is just, yes. Yes. I'm seeing the Amen choir, and I was one of them. Yes, amen. Yes, yes, yes. I think often friends who are moms and they complain nonstop. And then when I give them, I'm like, well, why don't you let, your partner do this? Or your mama live around the corner. Can she do this or that? No, no, no. I think sometimes we have letting go. It can be done how we would do it, get done. And I think it really empowers your partner, it empowers your family members or whoever shares to be a part and they feel responsible. I could not be a mom of triplets by myself. My husband does a ton. I ain't gonna lie, he does a lot. I don't love how he does my laundry, but that man does my laundry. And I'm gonna go, it'll never be would do it. I'm like this, like did you put enough detergent? It smells clean-ish.
Is it clean?
This shit because he put it in the dryer. He wasn't supposed to, but I didn't complain because he does my laundry. So I'll just delegating tasks and endearing and empowering people to help you, and just having that vulnerability to say like, hey, do you mind getting the kids food together? I'm still at the office. It might be chicken nuggets and fries. Who knows? Who cares? They're gonna eat. They'll be fine. So I had advice, Dr. Thornton. I had to swallow that. And I hated that I needed people so much because I only have 2 arms and 3 kids. But it has been to my betterment. I'm a better because I'm now able to ask for help, whereas before I would never. All right, look, tell the moderator shut up. Let me keep going. Number 3. Okay. All right, so this Nia, in order to avoid, how much of your community does it require? Friends, partners, in your life?
So I have to backtrack a little bit and just go back to what Dr. Amber Thornton just said, because, and you too, Monica, I mean, all of us moms, we get caught up in how we want things to roll. And let me tell y'all, okay, we in this house, the only way we function is on a schedule, okay? Everything is on a schedule. Your temper tantrum is probably on my schedule because it's the only way with so many people that we can navigate the day and still have room and opportunity for all the hiccups, the tantrums or everything that might happen in between. And that support system aspect that I'll get a little bit more into in a second it's critical. And I think as Black women, we take on this, we got to do it all mindset from the jump, right? And it's detrimental to us because we move through the world in a mindset as everything's on my shoulders. I can't give you this responsibility because you're not going to do it right, right? And at the beginning of my motherhood journey with my now 9-year-old, he's going to be 10 soon. That was my mindset. Let me tell y'all, you can't change his diaper. You're not going to do it right. You can't wash them clothes. You're not going to do it right. Right. You can't make the formula. You can't make the bottle. You're not going to do it right. Let me tell y'all, he making his sister's bottles now. Our 6-year-old twins, we was folding clothes this morning because it instills in them an opportunity, but also responsibility for them to understand their contribution to the household they live in now. But when they move on and they have their own families and have their own partners, how can I help sustain? How can I lend a hand so that we can be successful? So one of the biggest things for me going through the pandemic, coming to the other side of the pandemic, has honest to God, has been my partner, has been my spouse. He would go off to work, his 1.5-hour drive, and his 1.5-hour drive back home. He would get his alone time, right? You get your podcast in, You get your conversation with your cousin on the phone. You get that time. That's something I never got because I was always with the kids. And when I wasn't with the kids, I was doing work. Right? So now, a year ago, here he is in my shoes. Now he has to show up for them the way that I've been struggling to do. So he's in another, he has a new role, right? Not a gender role, but he has a new role of responsibility in the home that he didn't know how to do. And I'm very proud to say that, you know, yes, I love him. He's my spouse. He's my partner in life. But he's a great team member. He's a great teammate. And I think that is pivotal. Even if your teammate is your cousin, even if your teammate is your auntie, your doula, your nanny, your mama, whoever your teammate is, whoever that person is, whoever your village is, it's so important for you guys to have that connection and understanding of how you need to work together to make it all work. If you met me 10 years ago, again, my kids would not be doing no laundry. What? You're not going to fold it right. It's not going to look perfect for Instagram. Today, they washing dishes. Yeah, they still got some cereal in the bowl before you put in the dishwasher. It's okay. We're gonna put the dishwasher on. It's gonna take care of that, but you understand your contribution, not just to the circle we live in, but mommy has to stay afloat, right? Mommy has to stay afloat. So my husband being here and now taking on this role of, oh, on my lunch break, I'm not gonna chat it up with my frat. I'm not gonna scroll Instagram. I'm taking the kids in the playroom for an hour and a half so you can get work done. We're going on a walk so you can take a deep breath. I'm making breakfast so you can drink your coffee hot, right? That connected with me putting myself on the schedule first is something that has been mind-blowing. It's been something that I didn't understand until the pandemic, when we were all stuck at home together, struggling together, starting to enter this phase of almost depression. Hey, how can I pull myself out of this? What can I do to make sure that my cup is full, right? Not just get my nails done, get my back rubbed, but what am I doing for me so that I'm a whole person and I can show up for you and you, all your 6 little animals that live here, your friends that come over, my job, my passions, my DIY projects. How can I show up that way? And I'm grateful that I had a partner in all this who's really my village, because we have family, but it's still a pandemic, right? So everybody's not participating the way that maybe they traditionally would. Having him there to say, all right, I got this. Go do you, right? It's been amazing. That and that schedule, let me tell y'all think I'm playing about them temper tantrums. I have a temper tantrum box. I should have my calendar to show you guys that my temper tantrum box, it allots for anything to happen. There's a meltdown every day. So again, having a team, whatever that team looks like, it could be one person, it could be 15 people, but having that team, it's the foundation of your success in your role as a mom and avoiding burnout so you don't get to that place. Hey, Monica.
Hey, Monica.
Hi. I got kicked out.
I know, it's okay. We just wrapped.
Okay, we did good.
One of the questions. You're good. It's good.
Okay. I don't know where you guys are, but you know where you are.
Mariah asked us to leave, since we have 2 minutes, to leave them with a mantra to get us through burnout.
I love it.
Wait, let me think about that one for a second.
I can go.
Yeah.
One of my non-negotiables for work is, someone was talking earlier about Zoom kind of burnout. And so one of my boundaries is just, don't ask me why my camera is off. And so that is my mantra, because I'm probably back here looking crazy, period. Like, you better be lucky that I clicked onto this in the first place with all the kids that are running through this house. So that would be my mantra that I'm going to leave everybody with. Don't ask me why my camera is off.
Don't ask me. I love that. Somebody put that on a shirt. I think that my mantra, I'm really bad at mantras, so I'm just gonna give y'all a little blurb, right? Now is not forever. So the season you're in right now might be full of burnouts, right? You might not be able to avoid burnout, but understanding that this is a season, this is your now right now, but this is not your forever. So keeping that mindset of you're moving through life. This is just one of the stops. And as you move and transition, you're always, always, always moving and falling forward.
I love that.
I love that.
And I'm going to try to.
Short and simple. Mine would just be, I'm the very best I can.
Amen.
And I that sometimes to people, and it really stops people in their tracks and allows them to give you grace. I tell people, I'm like, I'm doing the very best I can. And allows people to empathize, like, oh wait, you're a whole human with a whole life outside of work and a whole, life outside of home. And I say it all the time, and I tell myself that, Monica, you are doing the best you can. This you're doing the best you can.
I was going to say, hopefully this makes sense. I always say, do it with the guilt. And so what I mean by that is, sometimes we need to do things for ourselves. Like, for instance, this weekend, I'm in a hotel because I needed a break. I've had a lot go on and I feel guilty about it. And so I always tell my moms that I work with is do whatever you need to do, even with the guilt. Don't let the guilt stop you, because guilt will come along and tell you that you're doing something wrong, but you are not. And so you still have to do the thing anyways and carry the guilt, because the guilt will go away as you continue to do the things that are good for you. So go ahead, do the thing you need to do. Even if the guilt is there, you are not wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. It's for you. And so that's what you need to be doing.
That.
I love that.
That mom guilt. Monkey, y'all all know that mom guilt will keep you from your goals.
Yes.
Especially if your kids are on any kind of schedule and you feel like, you going and doing what you want to do means the schedule going to be messed up and
somebody
you just
not
feel
taking
bad.
that. Somebody is eating them French fries and chicken nuggets.
We need a whole nother session just to talk about this mom
We
guilt.
do, right?
It's too much.
I think all of us have our social medias somewhere in our names or in our profiles or in our bios. Nia, Dr. Thornton, Monica, y'all are so awesome. Thank you for being my family in this.
Amen. Thank you guys.
This was wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Hope to connect some more.
All right. Ciao.